I have 10 years of oil and gas industry experience on the supply chain and procurement side, working with large oil and gas corporations and their $25 million pieces of equipment. During that time, working with the projects in oil and gas, I had the opportunity when I was working for a company to become their Salesforce administrator. And at that time, I didn't know anything about Salesforce. I'd never heard of Salesforce. And I was a little bit nervous because, like I said, I didn't know anything about it. So I just kind of dove in, just doing my job, learned everything I could to get it implemented for that company, and did that for 2 years for them. And it was during that time that I realized that when I was trying to learn Salesforce, that you could really make a good career. This could be a really good career path for someone. But from that point on, I just continued with the oil and gas, and I never really did anything else with Salesforce besides that 2-year stint. I changed companies and got out of it. And it was during this last downturn with oil and gas when it hit a negative dollar amount per barrel, when the oil and gas is a very volatile industry, and everyone was laid off at my office. 300 people were let go. That's when I decided that I really never forgot about that Salesforce career path and how much I enjoyed it when I had that opportunity to be the Salesforce administrator. And I was just ready to really go full force into that, learn everything I can, get my certification. And I just, I wanted to do so much more with that. So that's when I decided to really pursue the Salesforce career. There was a lot of people in the oil and gas industry during this downturn that were turning towards more of a data science, data engineer role, and learning how to code and things like that. So that's what I was really kind of looking at. I started trying to figure out what boot camps to attend, how can I learn things, how can I get into this area, because I was noticing that a lot of my former colleagues that I've met over the years in the oil and gas industry were kind of turning towards that area. In the meantime, I'd never forgotten about Salesforce. And I decided I was going to do the Salesforce because I loved it and I had that background. I was still trying to, play with the oil and gas industry, looking for a job. This all started in October of 2020. So for several months, I did that on my own, on Trailhead, just tinkering, falling down the rabbit hole, had no direction. But it was not until I just finally decided I'm going to go full force on Salesforce that I came across Talent Stacker. I believe on LinkedIn is where I originally came across the video of Bradley talking about the program. And I knew I needed some direction. I knew I was overwhelmed with Trailhead. I didn't know which way to go, needed help, trying to figure out what path I wanted to go career-wise in Salesforce. So I just bit the bullet and I did it. I joined Talent Stacker in April, the next following April, and 6 months later, I had my first job offer with Salesforce, and it was exactly 12 months after my layoff from my previous oil and gas industry. The biggest hesitation that I had of joining the program, I knew I wanted to do it. I was unemployed. I was trying to save every dollar that I had to my name while I was still searching for work, because I didn't know during the pandemic how long I would be unemployed. So I was watching every dollar I had. I wasn't spending anything that I didn't need to. So my biggest hesitation was the money. I didn't know, I didn't know if I wanted to give that money up at that time. I didn't know if that was a smart move, but I knew that I needed the help. And I knew that if I did push that button and enter the group, I knew that I would go in full force. I knew I was betting on myself. I knew I could do it. And I knew if I invested in it that I would complete the program. I would put everything I had into it. Once I finally decided I was going to go full force in this, I wasn't playing around. This is it. I was studying at least 5 hours a day, maybe 5 hours a day for my tests, and doing the study groups at night with the Talent Stacker study groups, the live study groups, anything I could get my hands on for knowledge and to get me towards that test I was doing. And then after I passed, I spent Most of my days searching for jobs, updating my resume, looking for that. I wasn't one of those that was just applying for 100 jobs a day. I was searching for that right position and that right company, the right background that they have, the right culture. So I did a lot of searching during the day. I might have, been applying to one or two a day that I thought was a good fit. Wasn't getting interviews from all of them, but you have to try. So, but yeah, every day I was on that computer looking to see if anything new had popped up. Just putting in the work. So I didn't pass my test the first time that I took it. And I was really upset and just kind of blown away. And I finally was, the group encourages you to reach out to people for encouragement. So I finally just did it. I'm like, I'm just not feeling really well about my not passing my tests. I had several, maybe 5 or 6 people reach out to me, message me, you got this, I didn't pass my test. This is how this is the things that I did that made me get over that and pass my exam. Kelvin Hall was one of them. He immediately stepped in, started messaging me how he was studying a little bit differently, the different tricks that he learned, and how he keeps himself motivated. He was one of the main ones I can think of off the top of my head. That was the first one to really shout out to me to keep me encouraged and to keep me positive and keep me going. The value of this group to me mostly is the mentorship and the positivity that I received from the group during my struggles. You have to put the work in to get your certification. You have to put your work in, the work in. It's not just sign up, pay the money, and I'm going to get something for free. It's not that way. You still have to work yourself to get to where you want to be. It's the days that you didn't think you can complete another module on Trailhead, or it was the days that I don't think I can study anymore. This is really hard. And when having that group that had your back and was constantly, giving you positivity and lifting you back up and holding your hand while you did things and everybody sharing their stories, that was major valuable to me. And that's what I was looking for. You're not going to do it alone with Talent Stacker. You can always find someone that'll pick you back up when you've had the days where you didn't feel like you can go on anymore. Because it's not easy. It's definitely work. That's very valuable to me. The study groups, just the friendships that I've formed with this group in such a little time. This position that I have now, 100% remote, I'm able to go visit my family that lives out of state, my parents and my sister and all her children. I'm also able to spend more time with my son that I didn't have working in the office in downtown Houston, Texas, in the oil and gas industry, which, the commute was awful. I've got so much more time just to enjoy life, to go to the gym, to go have a Pilates class, walk the dog, have a decent dinner cooked at night. We're not eating out so much anymore because I was getting home so late, just basically because of the commute, or I was just exhausted. There's so many things that I'm excited for. I'm going to be able to have more 3-day weekends. I can travel just anywhere I want to go. I've already got a list made of places I want to visit that are really drivable. I can drive to in an afternoon's time. I can enjoy the weather. I can take my computer and work at the park with the dog. I'm overly excited about this whole new lifestyle that I get to have. Start it now. The sooner the better. The sooner you start it, the sooner your career is going to skyrocket and you're on a better career path. It takes some work. You can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it.